Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Real Talk on WCOBM. I'm Melissa Wiggins, your host. I am with the lady who always needs no introduction, but I'll introduce her anyway. Her name is Miss Cherie Corneal. She is the Executive Director and founder of the Real Talk Youth Impact Program, and she's back in our studio today. Welcome back, Cherie.
Thanks, Melissa. Glad to be back.
You are very welcome. Tell us, what's new with Real Talk? What's new with the program?
There's so much, so many good things going on with the program. You know, it's been for the last 4 weeks, we've been really moving in a lot of different directions. Just got back from El Paso, Texas, went out there and shared the program to about 25 people in one of the judges' chamber conference rooms. And they embraced the program. They absolutely love it. And we're going to be heading to El Paso, opening up another chapter out there.
Very good. Well, I'm sure we have some new viewers with us today.
Yes.
So remind everyone, what is the Real Talk Youth Impact Program and why you founded it?
Yes, absolutely. So Real Talk is a nonprofit organization. And what we do, we service all kids in the community in the Vegas Valley. And ages 8 to 18. And our goal is to change one youth at a time. And through doing that, we use ex-felons that have come through the program, ex-felons that have been in the system, be it federal or state system, talk to the kids about choices and how not to end up like them. And then we also have a mandatory parent group where the kids' parents are a part of the program, because everybody wants to say that it's always the kids, and that's not necessarily true. Keep living, you'll figure it out. But so we make the parents be a part of the program. So we created it as a family unit. So any child between the age of 8 to 18, we want them to be a part of the program.
And where are you getting these kids from?
We get them from all over. Word of mouth is really big right now. We're proactive and reactive. And so what meaning by that, we get kids who have been court ordered to our program from the juvenile courts. And then we also get kids from diversion court. And then we get kids referred to us from schools, school social workers, and people just in the community that heard about our program and like it and just refer people to us.
I'm just curious, what's the youngest court-appointed kid you've had in your program?
I'm thinking 8. Well, we can take them at 8, but from the courts, I think the youngest one that I've received is a 9-year-old.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Can you
Diversion
tell us
court.
about that situation?
You know, a lot of these kids today, you know, from sitting in the courtroom, we sit in the diversion courtroom, where basically diversion court is, they give it an opportunity to get the programs completed, and then they can take away the charge after they've completed their program. So we're one step before they actually go forward with prosecution or sending their case to the district attorney's office. And a lot of those cases, these kids are angry. It's amazing to see the type of dynamics that happen in the courtroom. And a lot of these kids are coming through the diversion court program with domestic violence cases. I'm saying about 70% of those kids that come through diversion court, domestic violence cases against their parents.
Oh my.
And a lot of it dealing with these cell phones, because parents want to take their cell phones and they get upset, and then they start pushing and shoving their parents, and then they get into this physical battle, and these kids are getting arrested.
Now, what vehicles are you using in the program to help these kids?
There's a lot of different vehicles we use. Number one is speaking or sitting in the classroom with the folks who've been through the system and talk to the kids about choices. I call those. I would check the box for anger management. I would check the box for conflict resolution.
Okay.
Also involving the kids in getting involved in activities, because we want to take their aggression and all of the negativity that they're having at the house, we want to channel it into something positive. So we offer these kids extracurricular activities. Anything they want to do, ages 8 to 18, anything they want to do, we will pay for it up to $150 a month.
That's excellent.
Yes, it's a 3-month-long program, and once a month they can get involved in an activity for up to $150. As long as they have a 2.0 with passing grades, they remain in compliance, and they give us a nice thank you letter, we will fund that child through the graduation. At the 3rd month they graduate, and then if they want to continue, let's say we're paying for Taekwondo and they want to continue that, we will continue to pay for their activities as long as they come back once a month to volunteer with us for 4 hours. The first Tuesday of the month, we will continue to cut checks.
Now, do you have collaborators that work with your kids on the mental health side or drug addiction side?
Yes, we do. We refer out, because I always tell people I don't want to do everything. I'm a small piece of this pie. And so what we do, generally, we like to have our collaborators at the meeting. So like we have YCB, Youth, Your Choice Behavioral Services that are there monthly. So if your child is having any mental health issues, we refer them to them. Drug and alcohol issues, and as well as family issues, we refer them to Turning Point in Nevada. Iron Sharpens Iron, which is a male mentoring group. Let's say a child needs a mentor. Dad might be in prison or dad might not be around. They may just need a father figure in their life.
Sure.
So we refer them to the mentoring program, and we pay for it. So we want these. The bottom line is, I'm trying to take away your excuses. We have given you the opportunity to get involved in activity. We are allowing you to get involved in a mentoring program that we pay for. And then you have the accessibility of hearing these stories about the people who made the wrong choices.
Right.
So you already know you don't want to go that route. And then we close the program out with people who are from the community, who've made it in the community, who are doctors, who are attorneys, who are business owners, who are entrepreneurs. These people have never had any issues with the law. They stayed the course, and now they're doing something positive with their life. So we've given them the whole element of the do's and the don'ts, the pros and the cons.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you leave us, and then we can help you get involved in activity.
And what are
What
some
else
of
do
these
you need?
activities the kids are able to partake in?
They can anything they want as long as it's legal. I always tell the kids we'll pay for dancing as long as it doesn't have a pole in front of it. That's what we do.
Now,
We
do
pay
they
for anything.
find their own activities, or do you have people or collaborators that work within the program?
Twofold. We actually have people in the program that actually would come and set up. Let's say it would be Muay Thai boxing. If they want to set their table up to get kids involved in their program, they're right there, readily available for these kids to have them talk, so they can talk to the kids and say, "This is what we do." But if they're not there and the kids are interested in something else, let's say they're interested in doing boxing, and we don't have a boxing facility or a representative there, they find anything in their neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they find something, we will pay for it. As long as it's licensed and their fees are reasonable to us, and they will give us a discount if we keep referring, then we will use those services.
Now, you've been plugging away at this for how long? 5 years?
5 years, it seems a little longer than that, but 5 and some change, yes.
What would you say have been some of the major changes that you've seen with your own program over that 5-year period?
Just the steady involvement of the kids coming in, meaning the steady flow.
Okay.
We, consistently in the last 4.5 years, we've had 30 plus kids a month new into the program. And, and unfortunately, we have some parents that bring their kids to the first and second meeting and don't come back, which makes no sense to me because they have just one more meeting to graduate. But then you have to also look at the dynamics of the type of kids that we're getting. We're getting kids from all over,
Mm-hmm.
but the majority of our kids are from the inner city. Now, I'm not saying that all those parents are horrible, but what I'm saying is that the buy-in is not totally 100%. So, in which I'm trying to change, but I can't change that until I get employees to follow up with those kids
Sure.
who haven't been returning.
Right.
Because there's no excuse for this. I mean, it's one more time, and you can, and they get some pretty nice things when they graduate. They'll get a certificate from us. They get a certificate from the senator's office, Masto and Senator Heller, and they get a T-shirt from our program. And I keep trying to stress to these kids that those senator certificates are pretty significant when you are using those to put in
Absolutely.
for your college applications.
Yes.
You're going to apply for certain things. You can pull that out of your briefcase and say, look, I graduated from this program. They gave us these senators' recognitions. And I also tell the crowd and the kids rather that, some of these people, like people of significance, is making history. Senator Masto, Kathleen Cortez Masto, first Hispanic woman into the delegates in the city.
Right.
So, and my clientele is predominantly African American and Hispanic. So I try to reinforce these type of people to let them know, or these individuals to let the kids know, look, a lot of some of these things that I bring to you are part of history.
Right.
Like I brought in the first female black judge to speak to them last June in this
she was on
valley,
our-
and
she
she
was
was
on
on
our
our show, Tiara Jones, you know, the first on the district in district court. So trying to get these kids to understand that they're seeing some history made, but they're not grasping the significance of what it is that there's in front of them.
Right.
And so, you know, all we can do is put it in front of them, and they take from however they receive that is on them. But there are kids there that receive it more than others, and there are kids that they're just there because the judge tells them they have to be there.
Now, why was there a need to incorporate the parents group? Talk about the parents' involvement in the program.
You know, I started off in juvenile parole. I was doing that for 5.5 years, and my calling is children. I knew that a long time ago, but I got so sick of those parents because they were 90% of the issue, and there was no accountability. They would not take accountability, and they wanted the system, if you will, to raise their child or keep them in check because they were out of control. Now, I'm sorry. I don't still to this day understand how you can have an out of control 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old. I just don't understand.
But they're out there.
They are, and there's tons of them, but they need to come to my house. I can correct a lot of the issues that are going on. You know, I think the problem is this, though. When we were growing up, we had a fear of our parents. Not like a fear that they're going to kill us. It was that fear that you better not get out of line or you about to get handled.
Right.
Right? So today, these kids don't fear anything. And the parents are allowing these kids not to fear anything because they're not putting their foot down with certain issues, and there's no boundaries for the kids. So if I tell you to come home at 10 and you come home at 12 and then I don't do anything as a parent, well, then tomorrow you're coming home at 2 in the morning. And then the next day you might not even come home.
Well, how is involving them in activities going to change some of that mindset?
You know, research has proven that you get any child or children involved in activities, it teaches them many of your core values. It teaches them discipline. It teaches them respect. It teaches them social skills, which these kids are lacking because they're all doing this. And then when you go to shake their hands, they don't even look at you. They're kind of like this. You know, this technology is ruining our kids. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. It is really
Very true.
ruining our kids, and it's not the children's fault. Do you understand? And I say
Absolutely.
that because if I'm a parent and I say, "Here, Melissa, I got you a present. Happy birthday."
Oh, yeah, that's my focal.
And then that's now from this point on, all I see is the top of your head. And mom's okay with it. You know why? Because she's over here doing the same thing. So, you know, as parents, you have to put a stop to it. When I'm eating dinner with my kids, this goes over here. And they don't get on their iPads. They don't have a cell phone yet, but they don't get on these electronic devices. And they are monitored. I don't let them stay on these things all day long. And that's why you have obese kids.
Right.
You know, that's why you have kids that you know, I mean, I'm much more older than these kids, but they can't even do 10, 15 push-ups.
Remind everyone what your background is, Cherie, and why you're so passionate about this program and why it even exists today.
Sure. Yeah, I'm originally from Los Angeles, or California, Carson, California. I just generally say Los Angeles. And I came out here in 1987. I got a softball scholarship to go and play at UNLV. And but that all evolved because Mr. and Mrs. Batista took me under their wing and basically introduced me to fast pitch softball at 15
And I'm excited I finally got to meet Miss Batista and her
Yes.
daughter Lisa.
Yes, in
That was
in
wonderful.
June. Yes, it was. Yeah, they came down for our 5-year anniversary. Video is shortly to come. It's a mini documentary, so we'll get that out to you guys as soon as we get it. But they inspired me to keep moving. You know, they basically said you need to be playing travel softball. And from that point, I didn't even like softball. I was playing because my mother was a coach. I was good, but it wasn't like my passion. My passion was basketball.
Uh-huh.
Well, long story short, I ended up getting a scholarship in softball. And they are the reasons why I'm here. So I'm giving back because of them. And then also the other, that's the portion of paying for kids' activities.
Mm-hmm.
But the other side of it, as far as me doing the criminal justice field, you know, I graduated from UNLV, criminal justice degree in 91, and then I got my master's in 99. I'm number 9 of 12 kids. And
Big family.
large family, 8 boys and 4 girls, which brings me to my point. 6 of my brothers were involved in the system. So with having all of that training ground, and then working as a I was a juvenile parole officer for 5.5 years. I left them, as I said, I got sick of the kids, sick of the parents, and then I went to the federal system. So I was a federal probation officer for 15 years, and had a medical injury and had to retire 5 years early, but I had already started my program.
I see.
So when I medically retired from there, I rolled right into this program. And it's been moving ever since I retired, and so that's why I'm so passionate about giving back, because someone gave to me, and then also seeing the things that my brothers had involved themselves in on the criminal justice side. This is another reason why I put the two together. Let's keep the kids active. Let's keep them involved in something positive, because you can have a 2-parent home and still have issues.
Right.
Absolutely. And growing up in a large family, if I can tell you my story and my vision, my story of what I seen as a kid, but you can talk to 6 or 7 or 8 other people in my family, they see something totally different, and that's fine. That's their projection, and that's their view. But my view was this, and these are the opportunities that I had in front of me, and this is the route I chose. And so, with kids today, and they grow up 2-family homes or 3-family homes, there's not really a whole lot of large families anymore.
Right.
So, but today you having 2, maybe 3 at the most kids, same family or same parents, one child just decides to end up on this side of the fence. This child in the middle decides to stay straight. This child in the middle kind of dibble and dab, but then eventually comes back around.
Oh, and these parents have to take responsibility to know
Oh,
who their children's
yes.
friends are.
Oh, absolutely.
And the activities that they're
Yeah.
involved in, and that's why those activities
Yeah.
are so important.
Well, and this is part of the reason why, the parent group is so important in our program, because we need to hold you as a parent accountable. You can't just come and say, Johnny this, Johnny that. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some kids that are they're just out of control. They're just, it is what it is. Maybe they have some type of mental health issue. Maybe they have a chemical imbalance. I don't know. But the parents have to take some type of responsibility, because at the end of the day, you chose to have a child. They didn't choose to be here. So they're here. So what are you going to do? Where's your accountability?
Right.
Little Johnny just didn't start acting a fool at 15.
And we were just talking about that.
Just doesn't happen that way.
One of the members, Miss Desiree, who was addressing the children at a most recent Change One, she asked the kids to stand up that had to be there, that
Yes.
were court appointed.
Yes.
And to my shock, you had everyone from age 8 to 18 that actually stood up.
Yes. Yes.
And they all had varied reasons why they were court appointed to begin with. But
yes,
robbery
absolutely.
was a
Robbery
big one.
was the most that said that why they were there, and I think that these kids, they live for the moment, and I've shared with them before, and then Desiree hit the nail on the head when she said it last Tuesday. You just haven't come up on the wrong one.
That's right.
In the wrong house.
Right.
Because, and I've told the kids, look, you can be 15, 16, 17 years old. These kids today are big. You come in my house, I see a silhouette.
No one's going to ask to
I
see
see
your
a
ID
silhouette,
before.
and that's all that I see, because you're
Right.
intruding in my home. You've
Absolutely.
disrupted my home. You come in my house. I don't know who you are.
Right.
You might not leave breathing. And these are the things that these kids need to hear, because I'm not going to get arrested for killing you or shooting you. I'm protecting myself.
Right.
And Desiree said the same thing to them. And so, the kids are so involved in all these things, and it's fun to do this, and they explore it, right? But you don't explore in people's houses, especially robberies, burglary, running into people's homes with guns and what you just got to expect the consequences. And this is why we call it Real Talk, because these kids are already hearing it. They're on the videos, they're on the YouTube, they're seeing all this crap that's going on out there. Social media is just it's really turning the kids' mindset, and they don't know how to turn it off. So my personal belief is give it to them real. This is what my guys and girls do every month. They talk to these kids, and we don't fuss and cuss at them. Of course, I don't prefer for my gentlemen and ladies to curse, but they're real people. They slip up, right?
Right.
So, but we try to keep it as authentic as possible, because that's what they need to hear.
Where are you getting your members from?
From all over. We get some of them who hear about the program, word of mouth. We also get some of our members actually always looking to recruit people, which they're my eyes and ears, and they're my filters. So I use them to bring people to me, because they know what we're looking for. I don't want to say what I'm looking for. they know what we are looking for because they've been with me. I mean, I've had members 4.5, 5 years going on now
I know.
since
you
we
have
started.
A lot of long-term
Yes,
members.
yes, and they, every January they're obligated to donate $50 a year to this program to speak to our kids, and they speak to the parents too. And that parent group, the parent group, is great because they get an opportunity to give the parents a platform to say what's on your mind. Talk to us. Let us know what you're going through. And they share what they're going through. And my members will basically respond to the parents' concerns or issues because they've already been there.
Right.
So they're sharing with the parents why they did what they did. And here's some of the signs and symptoms. Here's some of the things you might want to alter as a parent or change, because that's not going to work because my mom was trying it with me. Didn't happen. It wasn't no change.
Well, we definitely want to talk about numbers. We want to talk about
Yes.
the direction of the program. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Oh, that's a different background, huh?
I like that.
Yeah,
like that a
I've never
lot.
seen that one. You got people tuned in.
Yeah, I like that background.